I feel like that's supposed to go with this.
Push these niggas off me like, push these bitches off me like, push these niggas off me like, pushing the snakes, I'm pushing the fakes, I'm pushing them all on me like, pushing them all on me like.
What it is, podcasters? I'm one half of the Goldmembers podcast. Herb Reed, Boston self-proclaimed mayor, aka the HBK.
And it's your boy Tyson, man. You already know. Jody, if you know me. You know what I mean? Get with us.
You already know, man. Shout out to all of our listeners. Make sure y'all check us out on all the top digital streaming platforms. We dropping episodes every single Thursday of every single week. Catch up, goddammit.
And definitely make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast. Again, on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast. And that Facebook group, man. Make sure y'all tap in with us on there also.
You already know, man. This is season 3, episode Trey 5.
Episode Trey 5. that KD.
That KD.
You know what I mean? KD.
That what's that? Is that the $60 pack or the $40 pack? What is we doing here?
With that old school 70 joint.
It was an old school 70s. Okay.
They was getting that 70 off during the pandemic on niggas out here. That Trey 5, man. Niggas was getting that off.
During the pandemic, man.
Pandemic, niggas was definitely doing it. You know what I mean? But how was your weekend, bro?
My weekend was good, man. The weekend was good. Did a few activities. Stepped outside. It was like 90 degrees. So, whenever the weather hit like that in the beam, you got to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? So I went outside. I did a little bit of playing. I played a little ball outside.
Oh, man, listen, man. It was entirely too hot for me. You remember how I was sitting in the back seat in Houston?
Oh. Hey, yeah.
I wish niggas got footage of that, man. Listen, man. I wasn't drunk or nothing, man. I was just hot, man. Like, we just came out the crib, man. It'd be too hot for me when it hit 100, man. It was fairly cool, like, on Saturday, though. You know what I mean? I had work and stuff like that, but, other than that, man, my weekend was cool.
Yeah.
I was actually with you on Monday yesterday. That's my weekend. My weekend start on Sunday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I work.
Yeah, man. Yo, time has just been flying, man. We already almost halfway through the year. You know what I mean?
Summer.
May is done. Summer's around the corner. You know what I mean? We already like 6 months into the new year, man. Time is like you could definitely... You can't get a hold of the time right now. Like.
At all, whatsoever. So you need to just wake the fuck up. You better get off that couch, man, before you turn around and be 50.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. And look, and if I lift this hat up, man, I got the little gray patch in the middle, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to dye it either. It's going to stay that way. So
a salt patch?
Yeah, a little bit of seasoning, you know what I mean?
A little bit of salt.
Yeah, a little bit of seasoning. I'm seasoned, you know what I mean?
A little salt for
I've
the
been
salties.
around for a little while. I've done some things.
A little salt for the... Yeah, I mean, that does sound like, like aged wine. Aged wine or aged what? What we drinking, bourbon?
Yeah.
Some aged bourbon.
Yeah, some aged bourbon. Yeah, nice whiskey.
Yeah, man. This weekend, bro, man. I remember I got a nice little message, man. Yo, this weekend I got a dope ass message from somebody me and H went to school with, man, from like elementary school on up, man. And I don't never go on WhatsApp. Like I got WhatsApp, but I'm never on it. I got it from when we went away to Atlanta for my boy. He had we had a group on there, so just in case we needed to know where each other was at, we used WhatsApp or whatever. And I went on there and got a message from my boy Emilio, man. Emilio Perez,
shout out to my guy, man.
Shout out to Emilio.
Shout
We're gonna
out
hit him with
to
an
him.
early shout out, man. We definitely gonna play this clip for y'all, man. It's like a little 1 minute clip he has sent to us, man, showing us some good appreciation towards what we've been doing out here. And we definitely appreciate this type of stuff and these type of messages, man. So always send these through, man. We definitely gonna play them for y'all, man, and we just love the support that we getting from people. So
yeah, and this is like you could tell that this is real and like it's authentic, you know what I mean? And like shout out to him for, even finding it in himself to even, put that video together, you know what I mean, and just send it to us. And you know what I mean? Just cause I know a lot of people think it And a lot of people feel it and maybe even say it to themselves. You know what I mean? But, like, you know, that's definitely going the extra mile, you know what I mean, and showing that love. So we definitely feel that, like, you know what I mean?
Word up, man. And it was definitely felt, man, because that's just somebody, you know what I mean? Like, when you see him now, I'm like, yo, like, my nigga got kids, man. Like, he's just doing this thing
Yo, bro, yo, when you played it for, that shit really brightened up my whole day, yo. I couldn't think about nothing else. I'm like, yo, that shit was fire, my nigga.
Word,
like,
no bullshit. So we definitely wanted to show y'all that we gonna play these types of things on our podcast, man, because we just want to show our appreciation for people as well as they do for us, man. Like, this stuff don't go unnoticed with us. So,
all right, here it go.
What's going on, Tyson? What's good, bro? Long time, man. It's me, Emilio. Just want to let you know and let Herb know I love y'all podcast, man. Y'all been entertaining me for a minute. I've binge watched all y'all joints. Them shits is hilarious and very educational. And yo, keep on doing what y'all doing. God bless the both of y'all. Yo, I just needed to share that for you. You know what I mean? With you guys. I wanted to share that, let you guys know what was up. And continue it, keep on pushing. And I'm loving all the content. I'm loving all of it. So again, man, God bless both of y'all. Keep it pushing. And I listen to you guys in the morning. I can't do the nighttime. As you can see, I work for Harvard University. So my mornings have been very entertained with y'all podcast. So please continue it. Keep it coming. And however I can support you guys, I'm going to support you guys. All right, so peace.
Fire, my nigga.
Fire, bro. No
Fire,
bullshit.
my nigga.
No bullshit.
Shout out to
man.
Emilio, man. Yo, listen, my nigga. Right here in the left titty, my nigga.
On dead dogs.
Right here, my nigga.
They don't even say on dead dogs everywhere.
On dead dogs,
On
my
deadest
nigga.
dogs. You know, that's my guy for that, man. I mean, we
Word.
definitely appreciate that. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead, man, and show us some love and send some videos in like that to us, man. We gonna play them, man. We like to, you know, we just love that type of shit, man. It definitely made us feel real good. You know what I mean? Like H said, man, that bro was just chilling yesterday, man. I was like, look at this shit, bro. Like, that shit was crazy, though, man. And I'm just happy we just, you know, had that effect on people. That's what we want to do right now with what we're doing.
Yeah, yo, listen, man. And, yo, that shit is like fuel on a fire. You know what I mean? If there's any reason to keep going and shit, it's like, you know, shit like that. Like, that shit probably help people get through their mornings. I know, trust me, I know what it's like because I need my little remedies to get through my morning.
Word.
You know what I mean? So if we're providing that for somebody, then that's enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even need to, you know what I mean? I don't need no more motivation beyond that.
It made me think a little deeper, bro, as to, like, you know, like how, you know, we ain't seen him in mad years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is somebody we went to school with. So, like, we're kind of touching those people we ain't seen in mad years. And they're like, yo, these motherfuckers, they ain't changed. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they them, like, they just older doing them, know what I mean? But these motherfuckers is dumb, man. And that's what they you know, they respect the authenticity that we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yo, and this is good to see our people doing well because he looked like he's doing well. Very clean.
Harvard sweater,
You know
man,
what I mean?
working at
Harvard sweater, you know what I mean? With the polo under, looking real prepared and dressed for success.
Ready to do
on his own.
like a model citizen.
like a
Yes.
true Renaissance man. Yo, one time for Emilio, man.
If you went to the
man.
Renaissance, you know what we talking
You
about,
know what that's
Dress
about
for
right there.
Success model citizens, man. You know what the fuck we talking about, man. Like,
Word.
that's
still
embedded
following
in us,
the
man.
code.
That's
He's still following the code.
It's embedded in us.
Yo, I love it. I love it,
man.
I
So
love
shout
it.
out to
I
Emilio,
love it. I
man,
love
for
it.
real,
One more
man.
time for it, man. One time, man. That's lovely, man. But what you got for us for some quick takes, man? We got some updates we gotta touch on.
Yeah, we got to touch on a few things, man. I definitely want to touch on the NBA right quick, though. I want to talk about them quick Celtics, man. They just tied it up yesterday. These games they've been winning every quarter besides 2 quarters, man. I feel like they should be up 3-1 right now. You know what I mean? Like, you think so? Like, I feel like they should be up 3-1 right now. The Heat's kind of hobbling in. I mean, we had some crazy injuries and shit like that, but I don't know, man. I feel like Red Auerbach and them boys is doing something in that building.
Hey, listen, man, we got a well put together team. Danny Ainge, these are descendants of Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We was still in that Danny Ainge era from when, Ray Allen and KG came over to the Celtics. He just passed the torch over to Brad Stevens and them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But he did a hell of a job, getting Tatum here.
I can't
Drafting
lie.
Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, brought Al Horford back.
The Udoka signing was good for us. You know what I mean? It changed the culture of like what it's like to be playing in Boston. You know what I mean? I felt like being in white ass Boston with a white coach, like nobody wanted to come in here and play. So Udoka, his wife's Nia Long,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it's just hitting for us right now. So I
Right.
just feel like that's a good vibe that we got going on. Hopefully he could win this championship this year, man, as a black coach for the Celtics.
Yeah, at least get there.
At least get there.
That'll be good for his first year as head coach to at least get there. I don't think the only person that did that was Doc Rivers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was.
So
Mhm.
he's walking.
If you want to count Sam Jones and them boys back in the day, they
well.
was player coaches like Bill Russell and them. But other than that, yeah, you right, man.
Yeah. But listen, man. Game 5 is in Miami, and I feel like this game is a toss up. Anybody could take this game.
Yeah, but I feel like anybody who take it gonna win it. Series.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would say that too. Whoever win Game 5. I would predict that they're probably going to take the series as well. The Warriors are playing right now, and this might end up being a sweep. So,
yeah, because the Warriors only need like the fourth quarter to come back and really put somebody away.
yeah,
You can't leave them if they're down about 6-7 points, man. Or 11 points. The game is far from over with them. So it's like you really got to close them out for real.
yeah.
Abuse them in the paint, man. Draymond's, you gotta get him out the game.
Yeah. All right. So give me your finals prediction real quick before we move on. What's your finals prediction?
Celtics, Golden State, and Celtics in 7.
Okay. I'm gonna say Celtics and Golden State, but I'm gonna say Golden State in 6.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. If I had a second
say.
choice, that would be it. If I had 2 tickets,
Yeah.
FanDuel,
Yeah.
I would do that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Golden State in 6. I just think they got the finals experience.
What you think about inflation, bro? I'm fucking pissed off, man. I feel like every time I put a little bit of gas in the car, what the fuck's going on, man? I put 60 in there the other day, man. That shit ran through like water, and I don't use regular.
Listen, man. Listen.
It's about staying in the house. I'm about to get a fucking bike.
This whole
Inflation shit's crazy.
this whole inflation shit, I think it really depends on who you are. You know what I mean? How well you positioned yourself. You know what I mean? Because inflation could also mean that you get the higher end of the salary if you're going for a new job too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Inflation could also mean, that gives you good reason to relocate your job, to move to a different site, different location in a different city.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like jobs are with that. Employees are with that.
Yeah, and if you come in what you worth, asking what you worth, and you actually getting the work done,
Right.
and you can present, you got the
Right.
skill set. and
If
shit.
you're a service provider, you know what I mean? Inflation works in your favor. Does that mean that your costs go up?
Mm-hmm.
Your work stays the same. Your service stays the same, but your price goes up.
Yeah. But also, like, if you own, like, say, if you own a business, you own a coffee shop or something like that, your price of goods are going up.
True.
So you're gonna have to
You got to raise the
Raise your
price on
prices.
your menu items.
for your customers who usually come in and get that coffee for 50 cents. Now it's $1.50.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're kind of hurting their pockets. You ain't hurting yourself too. So it's like, I don't know. That inflation thing is tricky, man. But we should have known it was coming though. They gave us all that money not too long ago. That motherfuckers should have knew they was coming back for it.
But I love it though, because I'm always trying to leverage shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that shit's in turmoil. Like the pandemic was like the gold rush for me. You know what I mean?
That was a good
because
time for people.
because everybody all the business owners needed my service. They needed my help.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to put a dollar amount on my help. So I was loving it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I want to go back to that shit. I'm glad it's fucking inflation. I'm glad motherfucking business owners are having trouble and they need marketing and they need consultants and they need programming and they need events management. I'm glad that they need that shit because that creates opportunity for me.
Yeah, and on the biggest scale for like everybody, like it could be tough too. Like
Yeah, it could be tough,
There's two sides to it.
but
like
we
said,
gotta, you know,
position yourself in
right.
we
We gotta position ourselves. Like if there's any time to strike to make that move, it's right now. Like if there's if you're down, poverty stricken at the bottom, never could get a job. Now's the time to start applying for jobs. Right now, you want to talk about inflation. We're also in the great resignation.
Yeah, we have seen that.
They're calling we're also in the great resignation. There have been more people that have walked off their jobs right now ever in history.
Ever.
They're calling it the great, how we had the Great Depression.
4 million like last month.
Yeah. I mean, the number was 6 million like last year.
Yeah, that shit was nasty last year.
Alone. So how we had the Great Depression and the Great Recession, they're calling right now the Great Resignation. Everybody's quitting their jobs.
So there is a lot of jobs out there for people.
So there's a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunity. Or there's a lot of contracting opportunities. If you can come in and provide the service that someone's employees would normally provide, then that puts you in the game to get some contracts.
Yeah, and also I think another thing is people look at inflation as being dangerous when they're just standing still. They're afraid of, like you said, growth, trying to get to the next level.
Right.
But one thing I did want to say about the inflation thing was that whole baby formula shit right quick. Fucking, like, how was there no baby formula, like, in America? Like, there was a shortage and we had to go and get it from another country. I thought that shit was made here. And it's not.
Like, I mean, shit. That's beyond me. I don't know. Maybe we can Google it. You want to Google where's baby formula made? Because that's a little bit beyond me. But I have been seeing that, how there's been like no baby formula. They asked Kamala Harris about it, and she ain't had no answers.
She ain't got no answer for nothing.
She ain't had no answers. And so I'm looking for, where was all the black power and all the black women? Oh, my God. First black woman president. Oh, my God. Where's all that? Where is it? She told y'all straight up, why would we do something specifically for black people? She got right up there and said that.
They say China accounts for 44% of it.
China counts for 44% of baby formula? So what? So does that force more women to have to breastfeed, or like what does that mean?
I don't know, but I've been seeing some wild shit. Like,
I would like to know like what kind of issues, because like there has to be some cause and effect with that. Like it has to be more than just babies can't eat. Like there has to be more of a. I'm interested to know what more of like the cause and effect of that is.
That I'm gonna have to see. I don't know. Like,
who got newborn babies?
I mean, I feel like you would have to necessarily
breastfeed, right?
Breastfeed more so. But what about women who can't breastfeed?
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is it that we're not thinking of? Some of the effects of this that we're not thinking of. That's what I'm trying to tap into. You know what I mean? Because there has to be more backlash than that. You know what I mean? Like I would never have to breastfeed. I'm not capable. So I can't even think of the things that, some of the problems that come from that. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I'm trying to look for some, but I don't
know.
We might
maybe
have to come back to it.
Yeah,
man.
we might have to bring some women on to really talk about it. Some new mothers.
Because that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
To bring a kid in the world and you won't be able to, like,
they probably gotta like pump more often. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, some women do just breastfeed and they rather do that. I heard it makes like the baby smarter or something like that, and it makes their stomach get smaller faster.
I can see that.
So, like, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I know that from having sisters with babies. So
yeah, I got tons of nieces and nephews, but yeah. Man, I don't know. Interesting, man. We should tap back into that and look into that more. You know, maybe talk to some women, bring some on the show. Maybe we can have someone.
I'm reading something on Google on statesmans.com. It's like a political facts page, and it said that in an emergency, pediatrics say cow milk could be temporarily alternative. Like, but it says who is 6 months and over. So I don't know, man. That is a scary thing for them, man.
People don't even be wanting to drink milk. I know I've been canceling milk the fuck out. You know, you ain't. This nigga ain't never fuck with milk. This nigga done missed days of school. This nigga done missed basketball games due to a fucking bowl of cereal.
Yo, I ain't had a bowl of cereal since like 2004.
This nigga done missed the bus to AAU games. We going out of town.
I don't know what's wrong.
Tice was on a train. He went back home.
The day's done.
Yo.
But then I learned my body, like, I know I can't eat that fucking
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Like,
It was that bowl of cereal.
Just one. I gotta have one cookie and milk, nigga. I'll be ready to go
pizza,
home.
you know, niggas used to. For niggas, two
Yeah.
slices was mandatory back in the day.
Not for me, man. I had
Yeah.
to go and get a half a
Dairy.
chicken and
That's
rice.
crazy because they say dairy is like really bad for you, and I love dairy.
Yeah,
I fucking love cheese. Oh my god.
Every time I hear that now, I feel like I was ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Everybody used to make fun of me before,
Yeah.
but now I was just ahead of the game.
I love cheese. I love ice cream. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yo, inflation, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep an
Yeah,
eye on this.
we're gonna
you
definitely
know,
get back to
definitely would
that.
love to hear from some of the listeners and all of that, and let us know what's going on with this whole baby formula madness.
So, my last thing, bro, with the quick takes, right? So there was this whole thing, man, that I was seeing this whole weekend about veneers, veneer composites. I remember you asking me about what veneer composites were,
Right.
and it's literally like somebody doing them shits from home, doing veneers from home. Like they're not really licensed. They're really not top doctor. They shouldn't be doing these type of procedures for people, right? And this lady did her boy's veneers. Like, he just let her do it for free, like on some like, yo, just do it for me. I ain't got enough money type shit. So you can pretty much practice on me. You know, anything free, man. You get a free cut.
With your friends?
You get a
You know, practice with my friends? Nah. Go ahead.
So, like, they're doing this shit with lip injection. Like, girls doing lip injections at home and,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
for girls and stuff like that. Like, this
Yeah.
shit's happening with, just like how they was doing the butt shots back in the day down in the basements.
Yeah.
That's the same shit that's going on right now with teeth.
Yeah.
So, they're charging like $500, man, for brand new front teeth, man. How you out here shining, man. How
I
you
wouldn't
looking
even
good.
trust that. 500. Come on.
The only thing I could think of is Mr. Wilson on Dennis the Menace.
When he had the
chiclets in
Yeah,
his
the
teeth.
chiclets.
He had the chiclets when Dennis lost his fucking fronts, his real veneers. Like, that's all I can fucking think of when I hear that, right? But what made these motherfuckers go ahead and pay? Look, the shits came back yellow. Like, they stained yellow.
First of all, that's $500 is probably like the cost of your deductible. So maybe if you just had health insurance and then you just try to go get your teeth fixed at the dentist, your deductible would be $500. So you cutting corners for no reason.
And you need a whole lot more work done before you get like veneers.
Right.
Like, you gotta like really get your cavities. You
I'm
gotta
not
really
trusting nothing for $500. I'm not trusting nobody or nothing outside of like my doctor. Like, that shit is just stupid. Like, people are stupid, but you know what it is? Like, it's really social media. Like, this is also, you could just be flicking up on social media. That's all it's really for. Yo, people are ruining their lives because of social media.
Yeah,
It's
you
crazy.
see, you'll see your favorite celebrity just go get their joints done. You like, damn, what's going on? Like, I seen all types of shit. I seen a nigga from Boston getting shorties in New York, fucking their teeth up.
No.
Yes, I did. I ain't gonna call him out. He's kind of popping too.
Nah.
Yes,
see?
sir. Yep. Which shorty that be with Tory Lanez? Aggie baby from New York. She got it.
Oh, I think I did see
You
that.
remember that
Yeah.
back in the day? Yeah, she was bashing them all crazy. She got them
That's
teeth done
sick.
bomb.
That is sick.
Got them teeth done bomb.
That's sick.
And Money put them fake ones in there, the Mr. Wilsons.
People's going crazy, man. You know, and you know, people need to realize too that, like, I always say this about doctors. Doctors are just motherfuckers who went to college, studied some some practice. You know what I mean?
Or came up with a practice.
Exactly. And then got innovative to think of ways to fucking make money and fucking start, coming up with fucking new ways to do surgery, to do Botox, to do, like we said, fucking veneers, to do fucking butt implants, to do the fucking transgender shit. Like, that shit is a practice. Like, someone, went to college and said, oh, a fucking get rich quick scheme. Oh, I'll find a new way to give fucking butt injections and shoot people up with this fucking liquid. You know what I mean? And it's like,
They giving niggas third legs and all that.
Yeah, like this shit is crazy. Like that industry, like the whole surgical and like cosmetic, type of shit. And then like with the drugs and pharmaceuticals, it's the same shit. Like college motherfuckers going to college, studying medicine and studying fucking biochemistry and shit and coming up with new fucking pills and new forms of medication, selling it to the government, selling it to fucking CVS, putting it up on the shelves, and motherfuckers is taking it. All types of supplements and all types of shit. And that's somebody's fucking experiment.
That is fucking crazy. They said composite veneers sit on top of your existing teeth to help shape the teeth into a more desirable appearance. You got to get these things done every 3 to 10 years. Niggas don't even be having. Man, listen, you pay $500 this time. The next one's you're going to be so fucked up, you're going to have to pay $1 million to get your teeth fixed. Or you're going to have them out. You're going to be out here like Mumbler.
Dogs. Because that shit's crazy, my nigga. Like, the world is going mad. Is going fucking mad. Speaking of that, should we just jump right into our motherfucking trigger warning? Because, like...
Definitely, let's jump into that trigger warning. But before we jump into that trigger warning, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast. Again, Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast. And definitely make sure y'all hit us up on Spotify, Apple Music, and what? We got Google Podcasts, all of that, man. Make sure anywhere you listen to us at, man, we're definitely there. Anywhere you listen to your podcast at, make sure you tap in with us.
Word, man. Yeah, man. So, let off this trigger warning, man.
Yeah, man.
For y'all who don't know, our trigger warning is when we sound off that alarm, man, about, issues that are just trigger warnings.
Yeah, things that might, trigger you. It might not rub you the right way, or, that we might not even know it might rub you the right way, too. You know what I mean? Like, it might rub you wrong or right. We don't know. You know what I mean? So we just going to issue that trigger warning out there for you ahead of time, just in case you don't want to hear that, or you might want to skip by, or whatever you might want to do with that, man. But definitely, man, today we want to send our condolences out. If anybody hasn't heard, there was another mass shooting today. We actually talked about one on our last podcast that actually isn't even getting as much exposure as I think it should have. But in another world today in Texas, I think it was Oakland, Texas. There was a mass shooting at an elementary school, and it left, 14 children dead and a teacher dead. And there was an 18-year-old kid from North Dakota. I definitely want to say his name because he needs to be.
Yeah, I had it.
Something needs to be done to him, if you ask me. But
well, he was actually killed.
He
was killed by the police at the scene. And yeah, he was an 18-year-old shooter. I'm trying to find his name. I can't find his name.
It's crazy how they start hiding his name.
You feel like they're hiding the name?
Yeah, there's no way it shouldn't be plastered all over the place.
Yeah, I know. I did see it earlier. I'm a little ashamed that I don't have the article already pulled up. But yo, just a very unfortunate situation. And we, if you listen to the last episode, we just talked about the shooting that happened in Buffalo, New York. And, here we are, one week later, another mass shooting. This one just so happened to take place in an elementary school
With children.
where he killed 14 students and one teacher. I mean, so many things come to mind when I think about this. You know what I mean? Of course, I think everyone goes straight to the gun laws, but I feel like that's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because, like, Should we have armed security at elementary schools now?
No, but I mean they do be having metal detectors in all the hood schools, but they don't have them in.
Yeah, but if this nigga's doing the ambush, he's not like
Yeah.
waiting to go through the fucking metal detector. He's kicking the fucking door and letting it ring. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. There's so many things. Honestly, if I could just be like fully transparent and just what immediately comes to my mind,
His name's Salvador Ramos.
Salvador. His name's Salvador Ramos. You track this nigga down.
It's on the shade room. You know the shade.
Find
got it.
that nigga.
You know the shade got it. They got his face platted. The hood don't play.
Yeah.
They don't got him on none of them white websites. I noticed that.
And he's Latino. So like, what do we say about that?
Is he Mexican or Latino? What did they say?
Mexican is Latino.
No, I wouldn't know. I'm in my business.
Mexico's Latino. There's 20.
That shit go. Dominican ain't Puerto Rican, but we gonna go.
Mexican's Latino. There's 20 Spanish speaking countries. Mexico is one of them. So you're Latino whether you want to be or not. But yeah, I don't know. Does that say anything?
I don't think so, because he comes from North Dakota. And you know who's in North Dakota. Ain't nothing but white people in North Dakota. That's learned behavior. He might be adopted. There's something behind this. Like, he killed his grandmother.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole lot. This isn't Mexican behavior or Latino behavior. Like, this
is like Call of Duty. Like,
all of this is that.
behavior.
They all coming up in that era right now. I mean, we had Grand Theft Auto, right? But it wasn't too crazy.
But
like,
niggas wasn't running down on motherfuckers, snatching them out their cars and going joyriding.
Yeah, you knew what it was about. Like, it was a game. Like, they actually taking this shit to the next level, whatever they doing with these guns and shit. Like, and I don't know how they getting. Well, he's 18. He can go and buy one out the store.
But you know what? But that's how these kids is raised. You know what I mean? And I think this is part of the backlash of, you know, parenting, honestly, and you know, some of the things that they've tried to do to regulate parenting. You know what I mean? To not let parents enforce rules and things on their children, to not enforce discipline on their children. You know what I mean? I always say that. That's the saying of mine, and a lot of people disagree with it. But I always say, man, sometimes an ass whooping is the lesser punishment.
Bro, I got a question for you. Do you think this is like the same like what if there's, you know, in our community there's niggas known as shooters, like a top shooter, like the main guy who out here, he probably got mad snotties, right? Is that the same? Like, is him like a nigga that you know do that out here, and there is a white guy going into school running in, like, is there like any similarities in those people?
There's definitely some similarities, because if you could kill someone, you can kill someone.
Yeah.
I don't think you could really separate a killer from another. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, if somebody viciously stabs someone, is that very different from a nigga walking up and shooting a nigga one time in the head at close range? You know what I mean? Like, how do you weigh those on a scale?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So, but honestly, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's why I stand against a lot of shit. We can't be mad at little fucking Ronaldo or whatever his name is. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then scream free niggas. When niggas is out here killing innocent kids too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm bringing up.
Right. So I'm just saying, I'm answering your question. That's why I be standing against a lot of that bullshit, because that's kind of hypocritical to me. Like, you being choosy at that point. You want to be mad at the mass shooters who walk up in a school or walk up in a public place, but we hear story about niggas shooting up malls, shooting up clubs, shooting up establishments,
Shooting up nice black
shooting
events.
up parks and basketball tournaments with his kids and his families. Niggas shoot babies too. Niggas shoot kids too. But then we turn around and scream free niggas. So that's why I be against that bullshit. Cause I be like, nah, how the fuck? You right, there ain't no difference to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There really ain't no hardcore difference, besides this nigga is so dead on track on killing any old body. That's it. These motherfuckers kind of got a target for what they're going for, but sometimes they don't hit their target. You know what I mean? So
You know, a lot of times I think that, and again, I think it applies to both instances that you mentioned, but I think both instances are done to make a statement. You know what I mean? You know, I don't think that, like, whenever these mass shootings happen, I think that they have a mission, they have a goal, they have a statement that they're trying to make. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, which was my original point, I think that statement is a demonstration of their own free will. I think people want to demonstrate that. And I'm kind of a creep because, like, I study killers and shit. I study murderers. Like, Charles Manson is one of my favorites. You know what I mean? Like, and I studied Charles Manson. Like, I fucks with Charles Manson. In a weird way. But, you know, people like that, Charles Manson, you say, like, this nigga was fucking killing people and he killed a pregnant woman and cut her baby out of her stomach. You know what I mean? But to me, Charles Manson was expressing his free will. His free will to go out and kill people and to show his disgust for capitalism and for Hollywood and for fame. You know what I mean?
that's not psychotic.
It's psychotic, but to me, it's a very conscious thing. Like,
Oh, yeah, he
and that's
definitely
what
knows
I'm
what he's
trying
doing,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very conscious thing because, again, I don't think that he was just killing people for no reason. He was killing to demonstrate something.
Yeah, I feel like that's every
Right,
serial killer.
right. So that's what I'm saying. I think even with these mass shooters, I think they're doing that to demonstrate something.
Yeah, there's a message to everything they're doing somewhat.
You know what I'm saying? And so whatever that is, you know, for the Buffalo shooter, yeah, it may have been hate. You know what I mean? For some people would say Columbine, it was because they were bullied. You know what I mean? South Carolina, they would say that was because of hate. He pretty much said it. He said that when the white kid, what's his name, Dylan Roof, when he went into that church in South Carolina, he said that he was trying to start a race war.
And that's what they're trying to do. Did you hear about Trump retweeting that shit the other day about trying to start a new civil war?
No.
Trump posted some shit the other day talking about he want to start a new civil war. Like, well, it was somebody posted like a new civil war is coming and Trump reposted it. You know what I mean? But that's something they are trying to do. That's something that's out there in the end. They believe that they can do. I even seen neo-Nazis not too long ago in fucking South Boston having a whole sign, had the street blocked off and some more shit.
I mean, but you know, why are we surprised though?
I mean, we're never surprised here.
You know,
in the world.
But it's not even, you know, I'm just talking about like the rest of the world. We're not even talking to just people in Boston. Like our audience is bigger than that. So it's like, why are people surprised? You know, when they say, and again, I understand because when they give us the freedom of expression, or you know, the freedom to, you know, have a parade, you know, that freedom is not just available to us. It's available to everybody. Perfect example, right? At City Hall, at Boston City Hall, and this is news too. We could even look this up. But this just came out. At Boston City Hall, they fly everyone's flag. They got the flag poles in front of City Hall. And they fly everybody's flag. They fly the American flag, the Massachusetts flag, the LGBTQ flag, the African flag, the Italian flag, the Irish flag, Puerto Rican, Dominican. They fly, whenever it's your time, they fly your flag outside of Boston City Hall. Well, the Satanic Church in Salem, Massachusetts said, well, y'all fly everybody's flag, so we should have that same right. So you should fly the Satanic flag outside of Boston City Hall. And guess what Boston City Hall had to do? They had to comply with that. Because when you give that right to different people, organizations, when that's a right that's afforded to everybody, you get people that come out of the woodworks and say, well, that's also available for me too. So a lot of times people wonder, like, when the neo-Nazis or the KKK decide to parade through your neighborhood and they get the police escort, well, it's because that they have to. And you see black cops out there, it ain't because they want to, it's because that they have to. You feel what I'm saying?
Nah, you're right. They do definitely have to because they're gonna be protected. They need to be protected.
Right. But I'm just saying, but that goes to show, you know, it goes for gun laws, it goes for, you know, crime and, you know, mass shootings, it goes for these different hate groups or these different white supremacy groups. It goes for all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't think that we could always kind of like be thrown off. Like when we see neo-Nazis, it's like, I was always taught that there is an opposition. There is good, there is evil. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when I see the neo-Nazis, I kind of be happy, like, oh, there you go. That's what you look like.
And I'm happy that they coming out nowadays too, like we've been saying. Like,
yeah, I get to see you now. I've always heard about you.
Especially, you know, when there was riot in the Capitol, a whole lot of motherfuckers.
A whole lot of them. Look, a whole lot of them was coming up out of their shirt and tie and headed down to the fucking, and a lot of them were your coworkers.
A lot of them was actually working in the fucking state capitol.
Look, and I seen an article. A lot of them are running for public office now, where they're from.
A lot of the people
who was running up in the Capitol,
yeah, because they're
running for public office.
They're getting put on the game of what they can do to change whatever the fuck they want to change.
But it already showed me that they was politically engaged anyway. For them to make the trip down to the Capitol to feel like that was necessary. Like we have a hard time getting Boston people to Boston City Hall. These motherfuckers packed up their shit, wives, kids, and all, and drove to DC for this shit.
Yeah,
like these motherfuckers are serious. Like, you know what I mean?
A lot of people, too.
Like a lot of people, and actually storm the motherfucker. You would never see black people fucking storm. Well, I don't know. People be running up in Boston City Hall. But you get the point.
Yeah, not like that, though. That shit was ridiculous.
But that's eye-opening to me. Like, I was like, damn, that shit was amusing to me. Like, I was like, oh, shit.
See, my nigga Kyrie took a day off of work.
Yeah, see, but that's like weird shit. Like, why are you taking a day off of work? Like, I feel like he should have been on the edge of his seat like me, because it's like, again, we have such a hard time getting people to walk down the street to the community meeting, to go to the Dudley Library on a Tuesday at 6:30 for a community meeting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Never mind packing up. So imagine that. Like, I have a hard time getting people to come to community meetings. Imagine trying to get motherfuckers to go to the Capitol to storm that bitch. Like, we ain't going hard enough. Like, what I'm trying to say is, our side don't go hard enough. I'm looking at the opposition, and I'm saying, these motherfuckers is gangster. These niggas is built for this shit.
Do you think we could do something like that as black people?
Maybe
shoot us the fuck down.
Maybe not that way.
Not that way.
But just like I'm saying, it's hard enough to get us to just go down to the Dudley Library.
I feel you with that.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now we don't gotta do that.
Because I already know what you mean. We've been talking about it for weeks now, like months now, like about how everything nobody going to these community meetings and a whole lot of shit changing around us, and niggas is wondering why it's changing and how it's changing. You know what I mean? We talked about that, like with the whole Blue Hill Ave thing, how they trying to put meters all up now Blue Hill Ave.
Right.
You know what I mean? The bike lanes and all that crazy shit. Matter of fact, they're actually going through some shit with them bike lanes now. They mad about what's going on with the whole. I've been seeing mad accidents and stuff with that new fucking train thing. Right. You know, the bus lane in the middle of the fucking road in Eggleston. Like, they're going through a whole lot of shit with that. And hopefully we could do something, man. I hope people stand up. Like you said, he just told y'all 6 o'clock down in Dudley. What, Dudley what?
at the Dudley Library.
At the Dudley Library.
That's where it be. You know what I mean? But that's the lens that of course I'm like empathetic to like the victims and all of that. You know what I mean? But I can't help to like immediately like be strategic and like think about solutions. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, that's what I see. You know what I mean? So let's like, even if we went with the conspiracy theorists and said, okay, someone sent him to do that. You know what I mean? Or like with the Buffalo shooting. let's say so. Let's say, okay, you know, these guys are a part of a white supremacist group, a hate group, you know what I mean, that's sending these kids out to commit these mass shootings. Let's go with that, right? Well, to me, I'm looking at my opposition, and I'm saying, okay, my opposition is organizing. My opposition is putting off demonstrations. You know what I mean? So whether it is around some hatred shit or whether it is around gun laws and, you know, the NRA and all that type of shit, whether it is they're actively organizing and putting on demonstrations. So how are we going to organize and counteract what it is that they're doing?
Yeah, because the only way I feel it, the only way they do that, only way we do that as people is versus each other.
What you mean by that?
I mean, like in a street form way, like you said, like if somebody got a mission they want complete, they send somebody go down there and handle it, nigga, and niggas that come back play defense and niggas is on offense.
So you want to take it there, but niggas ain't even doing that though.
Nah, they are.
Niggas is doing that.
I'm just saying, not like these white folks. It's just like planned out to the T. You know what I mean? Like they doing this shit. They studying what they're gonna do. Like they know where they're gonna drive. Like they know how far away from their hometown they gonna go and do this shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just real strategic. So it's like I'm like niggas is out here doing this shit off the dumbness. Just going outside being a wild loose gun. You know what I mean? Doing dumb shit. But I don't know. Niggas do need to be more strategic. Like you said, our people need to be more strategic in terms of. But you think we could do anything? I feel like we do anything, they gonna shoot us.
But I'm just saying, but
I'm trying to think like what could we do like of that nature?
Yeah, but I mean kind of like, you know, like how we talked about the whole Buffalo situation on our last episode. You know what I mean? I don't think that we need to go out and, you know, like you said, play offense. We could always play defense. You know what I mean? Do we need to start putting armed security guards at elementary schools? This is not the first time this has happened. This is Sandy Hook, you know, in Connecticut. You know what I mean? So, like, is that something that we need to start doing? You know what I mean? And that's not going out. That's playing defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we need to start to do to count? Because they're going to keep organizing. Whatever group or whoever's doing this, they're going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? So how do we counteract that as people, as, you know, parents, as community members, as advocates? You know, what kind of laws can we put into place? What can we do as a community to start, you know, organizing and shit like that? I don't know. I'm just always, because I don't like to dwell on the problem. You know what I mean? So I'm always thinking about, like, what are the solutions? How do we get to the root of this thing?
Like I'm saying, I'm also thinking like, is it like the entrance and, you know, the exits and shit like that? Like, do we need to do some more beefing up to those? Because, you know, like you can't get inside of a jailhouse with a gun like that. Right. You did get in a jail correction facility like that. I mean,
because think about it, right? Like, even going to school nowadays, like the closest preparation that we had to anything like this was a fucking fire drill.
Now they got backpacks and shit with bulletproof on it and all of that, but I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean? That wasn't part of the fucking school. There were certain days and certain times where it was designated for fire drills. So now these kids, and that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, shit is changing. Shit is being implemented. Because now these kids ain't just going through fire drills. They got to fucking go through mass shooter drills.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're actually having these mass shooter drills. Like,
yeah, but shit, if they're not,
to be a part.
Shit got to be implemented.
Because you know, they still doing old things in these schools.
Right, they're still fucking like, if Columbine, if we learned anything, nigga, fucking locking doors and hiding under desk, it ain't working. It don't work. Like, we need some trap doors. We need some safe spaces. You know what I mean? Like, we need police officers on duty.
Yeah, I was just thinking like licensed parents, nigga. I don't know what they need to do. But like I said, I was at the hospital last night with a kid. And, mind you, Boston Medical is so fucking nasty. Somebody needs to shut that shit down or disinfect it for weeks. But anyways, I literally thought, like, after I seen that shit, like, after I've been hearing about mass shootings, I'm looking at all the weirdo people walking around the door at down there. And that's all I could think of is, like, they got this one armed black security dude sitting right here. Like, what are they going to do if somebody want to get busy right here? You know what I mean? Like, it just gets crazy, man. And I don't know, like I said, man, there's a whole lot of things like that needs to take place, like niggas having their own security companies and, you know, fighting the problem. Like you said, coming up with a solution to these problems.
Yeah, you know, and this is you know, mental health month, mental health awareness month. So, you know, is definitely on topic. You know what I mean? I can't front after that Buffalo, New York shit. And, you know, I work with, you know, predominantly white people. I did not feel good going into work because I felt like I felt like the whole shit was going ignored. Like, I felt like it wasn't nothing to nobody. It was just another fucking regular day. Like, and that shit bothered me.
Yeah.
That shit bothered the fuck out of me. I was like, yo, like, this shit. And I'm, you know, all I'm looking at is articles and I'm seeing the faces of the victims. And it bothered me a lot more, too, that they were elders. Now we have children. You know what I mean? But that shit bothered me a lot, that it was just like, it was another day at the office.
It was like brushed over. Like, even I felt that way even in the news. Like, remember that whole shit that happened with the baby in the LBG community? How it was every fucking
It
where?
was everywhere.
All over the place. Like, I just feel like it's nowhere to be found now, like when it happened, when this whole thing happened in Buffalo, like you said. And it just was the lack of support and showmanship that these channels had, these major platforms had. But like you said, I just think it's something that makes them draw some money in, man. Like, when it's about black people, they just brush it to the side, man.
Yeah, but you know, that's why it's good for us to have our own, man. Like, I push that, man. I stress that. Like, you know, we gotta cover it. We gotta deliver the facts. We gotta control the narrative. You know what I mean? We gotta be proactive. Like, I'm a believer in that. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't really like to talk too much, but, you know, I'm not just a talker. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of motherfuckers want to sit around and just have their comments. Nah, get out here and do something. You know what I mean? There's a lot of organizations that you can attach yourself to. There's a lot of initiatives. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. You know what I mean? Like, those of us that are actually on the ground level, like, we greet ourselves that way. Like, the work is never finished. That's a greeting in my line of work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm not one to complain. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You know what I mean? But make sure y'all check us out on all the top digital streaming platforms. We dropping episodes every single Thursday of every single week. And check us out on social media as well, at Goldmembers Podcast, man. We on Instagram, we on Facebook, and all that good stuff, man.
Make sure y'all definitely tap the fuck in, man. What's up with your man Jamie Foxx, huh?
Yeah, yo, there's been a lot of talk around interracial relationships.
Yeah, man, and I want to know, man, like, why everybody think it's a bad thing, you know, that Jamie Foxx doesn't deal with nothing but white females. I mean, to me, he doesn't say, they have been saying, he doesn't never said anything bad about a black female.
Well, first, I think, like, the picture was a white chick on the back of a jet ski or something like that.
But they said it was his new boo. Like, he always got a new piece of snow, like.
Like, what's the big deal? Like,
I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't, like, dim on somebody's preference. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he respects black women. He don't definitely, you know what I mean? But
his daughter's a black woman.
Oh, he got a daughter. I didn't know he had a
Yeah,
daughter.
he got a daughter.
Okay,
And his daughter's
see?
grown, too.
See, like, whoa, Jamie. Oh, he been there.
Yeah.
He been there.
Yeah, like.
Nah, don't tell me Jamie's done.
Yeah.
She put him through it, man. She got half of that bag.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. I'm not one to judge. I'm not gonna. I think when it comes to interracial relationships, I think guys that are able to, like, date even get a white woman. I can't get white women, so it's like, if you can get them, have them, get them. Cause I can't get them. I don't know what it is. I think I'm too black, but I can't get them.
I don't think you too black. I just think
I'm too aggressive.
they might strike fear in you, but
They do.
I went to
They
school.
do,
I
honestly.
I feel like they strike fear in you. I went to school with a bunch of white people.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
So how
Like,
do you feel about interracial relationships?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, but would you
Like, I
take
got
a white
friends-
woman home to Judy?
Yeah, because Judy's half white.
Shout out to Judy. Love you, Judy.
Yeah, Judy's half white. Hell yeah. Why wouldn't I? Like, my mother said to me before, she thought I would talk to a white woman. Like, I would bring a white woman home. My mother said that to me before. I was like, what? We heard that. Like, but when I was little, I used to have a thing for this white lady. I don't know. So she's like, yeah, you used to always like this white lady.
Damn.
Like, shit. What?
I mean, interracial, listen.
I don't
remember-
think that's my preference, like, to do for my life. Like, that's not something that I want to do. Like, that's a plan.
I just think that, like, it's just like a black woman thing, like, and I'm not gonna bash black women or anything, but I think, I think black women are, like, very offended, that some black men are picking white women instead of them.
But nobody says nothing when it's the opposite way around.
When they pick a white boy,
Like Serena.
like Serena,
Nobody has a problem with that relationship.
it's like, good for you.
yeah, like, go ahead, girl, get that back.
Right, get
Eve,
that.
Eve. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that nobody says anything about them dating a white man whatsoever because their white men are billionaires. You know what I mean? But let Diddy talk to a white woman
Right,
as a black billionaire.
right.
Him talking about black excellence and shit like that. That'd flip the whole world. Everybody'd be upset. It'd flip the whole world upside down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. That is kind of weird to me. It's kind of like,
I mean, I
one-sided.
remember, like, what made me say that in the first place was one time, and we was actually on social media. It was on one of our previous clips from a previous podcast episode we did. And, it was the fucking Janet Jackson and J-Lo comparison.
okay.
Remember we did that?
Uh-huh.
We did a J-Lo and Janet comparison, and bro was in favor of Janet. I was in favor of J-Lo. And some girl was coming at me on social media. You don't remember that? She was coming at me like, yeah, shout out to you, for staying down with the sisters, and niggas be switching sides. And I'm like, well, like, what? Like, what? Like, first of all, I'm half Spanish my damn self, so I'm well within my motherfucking right. I'm playing in my sin, but you know what I mean? Like, you feel me?
Uh-huh.
But it's like, okay, but even if I wasn't, or even if that was my preference, you know what I mean? What's wrong with that?
That's what I'm saying. Cause I like Spanish women.
I like Spanish women too.
But I also like black women too. So I don't get what's the difference, but that is like a problem. Like, I don't know. I think it's like a woman thing.
And you know what it is? I
What?
definitely want my kids to have culture. Like, my kids have to have culture. You know what I mean? Especially because it's like, and they have to have like true ethnicity. You know what I mean? And not to say that I wouldn't have children with a black woman, but I definitely want my kids to have, like, to be in touch with their heritage. I wasn't too in touch with my heritage.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy about that? A woman asked me that the other day at work. I was having a conversation with a woman, and she works for an organization that deals with, like, Latinx people, and she noticed my last name like people normally do. And so she was asking me about my heritage. Real, like, Spanish lady, like, heavy accent, all of that. And so she was asking me, she's like, Lozano, where you from, or whatever and stuff. And so I kind of tiptoed around, like, yeah, half my family's from Honduras. And she was, like, pressing on it, like, no, where are you from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, tell me about it. Like, she was pulling it out of me, like, tell me about it. And I was like, and I realized this as I've been getting older. I was like, well, honestly, I was like, I don't know too much about my heritage. Like, a lot of my heritage was lost.
I think it's a problem with me because I don't want to explain because I'm so much. So I'd be like, I'll stop. Like, I don't want to. I'll just say African American.
Right, but, like, for me, it's like, just thinking about that, just thinking about how far my knowledge goes back of, like, where my family comes from, who my family is. You know what I mean? One, because it was like my grandmother was an orphan in Honduras. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My father never knew his father.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he was sent to America. He was the first generation to come to America.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So a large part of my heritage is like lost. So, you know, so I want my kids to have that. Like my kids have to have that. So forgive me if I look for women who are like straight from their fucking heritage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Almost like first generation themselves. You know what I mean? Speak another language. They look it like the heritage is in their fucking genetic makeup. Like my kids gotta have that.
No, I feel you. I would want them. I want mine to know more than one language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you
They
mean by
have
that.
to
I
know
know what you mean
because
by
I
that,
don't know
bro.
Spanish. Like I think like my father forgot Spanish when he came here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had been here for so long, he forgot how to speak
You
Spanish.
don't have to speak it like that.
He didn't have to speak it like that. You know what I mean? My grandmother always reminded me of how much I can't speak the language and how terrible my Spanish was. You know what I mean? Like she did that intentionally. What's that? This thing is crazy. So I'm just saying. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have kids by a white woman because I do want my heritage or my kids' heritage to be of a certain lineage. But as I've gotten older, I look for people that are very much in touch with their ethnicity.
Yeah, nah, I agree with you. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't or I would because my family is half like they just partially white. So I wouldn't. I mean, not a lot. We're not a half white. I'm not a half white. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
right.
it's in us. I mean, I feel like it's in everybody. But
Right. I mean, shit. My grandmother's last name was Bonanno, and if you're into Italian mob shit, the Bonanno crime family was one of the biggest crime families. And then it's crazy. I meet Italian people, and they think I'm Italian. They be like Lozano. They be like, "Are you Italian?" The little intern girl at my job said that to me. She's like, "Lozano, you Italian?" She's Italian. She's like, "I'm Italian. Are you Italian?" I'm like, "Nah."
all right, so my mom's grandmother was shunned from their family in Maine. Like they were, white people in Maine, they don't like when you date black women. I mean, black men. And my mother's grandmother was dating a black man, and they shunned her from the family. So they all came here to Boston, and here we are. There's a whole bunch of us.
See,
I don't.
like-
There's a whole another side of my family I'll never know.
So, all right, so could you ever see yourself marrying a white woman?
No.
No.
See myself marrying?
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting married. That's the problem.
Well, okay. All right. Well, that answers that.
I don't see myself getting married right now the way my life is going on.
So you'll have a BM?
With me?
Yeah. Because you plan on having kids, don't you?
If I have kids, we'll get married.
Okay. But you're not planning to have kids.
Nah,
Oh, okay.
not right now.
All right. Well, yeah, man. I don't know, man. Interracial relationships, that's a sticky one.
That is a sticky one. That's a different one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what we got? We got some shout outs?
Oh, yeah. Give me some shout outs.
I got a couple of shout outs, man. But before we do some shout outs, definitely make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast. And make sure y'all tap with us on all DSPs, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to us at, that's where we'll be. I want to shout out my man Nice, man.
Shout out to Nice.
Nice Rock City Pizza, man. You know what I mean? He went to Cathedral with us. He's doing this thing. We seen him on the news the other day. That's what made me even think about the inflation shit. Because he was on the news talking about inflation and how it's affecting his business and certain things that he's trying to do. He just opened up a second shop, so I know things are kind of tough for him. And with his demand and what he's trying to bring to the table for his people and with his company. So shout out to my man Nice for definitely being on the news the other day, making his initiative towards what he's trying to do.
Word. Shout out to Nice, man. Rock City Pizza and all of that out there in Brighton. That's my guy. I want to send a shout out to my man O'Rocker and Vel, man. My guys out in Springfield.
Shout out to the Brodies.
SOP, man. Standard of Progress. They had me speak on their panel about a week or two ago, man. I like what they doing out there. Young black brothers, entrepreneurs, progressive. you know what I mean, bringing other black brothers together and other professionals, man. So shout out to them. You got another one?
Yeah, I got one more, man. I want to shout out my guy Ernest, man. R.I.P. Ernest from around my way, man. His son got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, 4th round, 139th pick. Isaiah Likely, man, 6'6", 245, man. Hopefully, keep doing what he do. I hope he talk that shit his father used to talk, man. Because if he do, man, he gonna be a hell of a player.
Word. I got another shout out, man. Shout out to my man D Black, Cannaman Black. He's the founder of an organization, nonprofit organization, Let's Talk Weed. Real big in the Massachusetts cannabis industry. He been on the front line since the beginning. But he organizes these events, and he brings like the who's of the cannabis industry, and they've been sharing information. This last event that he just did at Nubian Gallery in Roxbury was amazing. He flew people in. He had some general managers from some dispensaries out in Jersey come. He had a few people come, man. But great job, man. He's really paving the way, providing opportunities, man. He's spreading the wealth for sure. For sure. So shout out to my man D Black.
Shout out to D Black, man.
You don't got no more? I got some more, man.
You keep going, keep shooting off.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to Shea Petty, man. The WNBA season done kicked off. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Phoenix Mercury, doing her thing, and they was doing a lot of coverage around the whole Brittany Griner thing and everything. So they got a whole initiative that they're playing, and rolling out as the season continues and stuff. So yeah, shout out to Shea, man.
Shout out to Shea.
Who else? Shout out to all the AAU teams. I wanted to send a shout out to them, man. All the AAU squads out there. It's summertime. It's a lot of tournaments, a lot of young hoopers out there. Bunch of AAU teams out the city of Boston. The Boston Showstoppers, the girls AAU team with Bronco and them. New England Spartans. Shout out to Joe Chapman and them. They doing big things. Who else? Expressions in them.
Expressions.
They always doing big things, man, with some of the top talent in the country as well. So shout out to them. BABC as well. Of course, they always elite, top-notch talent. Who else we got, man?
Shout out to Michael Bivens, man. He got the tournament coming
Shout
up
out to
next
Mike
month,
Bivens.
Right?
Yeah.
Michael Bivens, man. He got the 25K, right? Is it 25K? What is it? How much money?
Yep.
25K.
25K. It's usually the Biv 10 tournament, but he's doing the 25K this year. So that's going to be big. He's doing the youth division, a teen division, and then he's doing like a men's division as well.
And they better have my nigga AG out there starting.
Yeah, AG. Yeah, listen, don't even fucking get me started, nigga, because I be screaming from the fucking sidelines like, let's get this shit right, especially against these New York niggas and all of that. I don't be liking that shit, man. So let's make sure we fucking come correct this shit, man.
Word up, man. And y'all better show home team some fucking respect.
Yeah. Another one, man. Shout out to Melinda J, man. She was a great hostess in the city of Houston, man. Held us down, opened up her doors to us, showed us around the city, showed us a good time.
And shout out to our city, man. Shout out to
the Bloody.
Man. We back.
Shout out to the Bloody.
It's gonna be a nice summer.
Yeah, hopefully the niggas act right.
Oh, I don't plan on being around niggas.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's it. That's it for shout outs.
That's it for shout outs today, man. That's all I got for shout outs today.
Damn. Oh nah, shout out to everybody with a birthday. There was a lot of birthdays. Oh, Mick's birthday.
Oh, shout out to Mick. Mick's birthday was today.
Yup. Shout out to Jessica. Jessica had a birthday. Shout out to her.
Shout out to Jessica. Rashonda had a birthday.
Yup. Shout out to her as well. Shout out to everybody with a birthday, man.
Somebody else had a birthday.
What is this, Gemini season? What are y'all? Y'all Geminis?
Season. Yeah.
Okay, I fuck with Geminis. I fuck with the Geminis.
Me too. I don't got no problem with them.
Yeah. I fuck with the Geminis. So shout out to all of them, man. But yeah, let's close out. Make sure y'all check us out on all the top digital streaming platforms. We drop episodes every single Thursday. Tell them where to find us on social media.
Make sure y'all check us out at Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram, and make sure y'all tap in with us on that Facebook group. Let them know where to find you at on Instagram and on social media.
You already know, man. Find me on social media at Herb Reed. That's HERBREAD.
You can find me at Goldmembers on Twitter and on Instagram at Goldmembers only.
You already know, man. Goldmembers, we out.
And if they lock me, scream free Willy. Eve bit into the apple, now it's rotten New York City. I watch who I let ride with me. Baby told me it's forever, she gon' die with me. Say who am I, you can fly with me. But who am I really?
Goldmembers podcast.
Be easy.